场的各位观众朋友们，我们的比赛呢即将开始啊！大家都知道，看比赛呢少不了各位观众的加油呐喊声。我们在比赛开始之前，我们一起来练习一下怎么给我们的运动员加油，好不好？那么接下来呢，我要喊出汤油杯，大家就一起喊加油！来，我们全场试验一下，预备，3、2、1，汤油杯！
14th seeded Mexicans. Today's order of play, 3 ties we had lined up for you. One of them completed already. Thailand narrowly beating India, 3 matches to 2 in Group B. We will be watching the second of these ties, and then after China-Mexico will be Denmark against Spain, an Uber Cup match. But this, a Thomas Cup tie from Group A, and there's the nation's team list. Chinese players all nominated and eligible to play initially. That's the list of them, all 10. What a strong squad that is. Indeed, 3 players from the top 10 world rankings in singles. Chen Long, Lin Dan and Houwei. And from their squad, of course, only 3 of them can play singles. So effectively they have 4 singles players on the list there and 6 doubles players. The Mexican team list, there they are, just 6 of them. But they have done extremely well, and unless I'm mistaken, it's the first time Mexico have qualified for the Thomas and Uber Cup finals. So history being made today. Huge moment for them. What an experience for these players up against the might of the white-hot favourites, China. Lino Munoz, he will get us underway and do battle against Chen Long in the opening singles. So we've seen 1 tie finished already from Group B, as I said, but this is confirmation of the match that we'll be bringing you. China against Mexico. First up, Chen Long, the undisputed world #1. He's up against Lino Munoz of Mexico, 73rd ranked. Then Tian against Castillo. Qiao against Luis Ramon Garrido, and then both men's doubles to follow that. So that's what we'll be bringing you. Lin Dan, well, he's been rested today. Difficult decisions for the team captains, of course. But out comes Chen Long, the undisputed world #1. And there his opponent today. What a wonderful moment for both players. '22 career singles titles for Chen Long. 5 in 2015, but yet to win a title in 2016 for this man, but still posting some very consistent results. Officials introduced. And there's his opponent today, Lino Munoz, 73rd ranked in the world, pretty much off his career high. And a size disparity, as you can see, Chen Long 6'1" tall.
The group stage of Uber Cup.
Tense moments for the players, this.
Tai Ziyin, Chinese Taipei. Mauritius.
Mexico, the 14th seeds in their group. Also in the group, France, 13th seed, Japan, the 5th seeds, and China, of course, who are up against today, the top seeds in the group. So just confirmation of the match that we'll be watching as they begin their warm-up on day 1, session 2 out here from Kunshan. Thomas Cup fixture. Focusing on Chen from Houwei, world rank number 1, 27 years old. Pretty decent year. Played 5 tournaments this year. Chen Long, disappointing All England Open, losing to Su Zhong in the 2nd round there. Final of the Malaysian Open though, and final of the Bonnie China Masters, and also the Badminton Asian Championships as well. Lino Munoz, well, 25 years old, slightly shorter, pretty much off his career high, as indeed are most of the Mexicans playing out here in the team today. In Mexico City, as you can see. Semi-finalist in the Peru International this year. Runner-up in Argentina International 2015, and also semi-final posting for Lino Munoz in the Colombian International last year as well. So that's where he spends most of his time. Back in South America, playing the international series events and the Grand Prix. He'll be partnering, incidentally, Job Castillo in the men's doubles. They've only have a 6-man side, so having to double up very often. But what a match this will be. The powerhouse is the top-seeded Chinese players. What a force they are. This the 29th edition of the Thomas Cup, and the 3rd hosting in China. 4 years ago, of course, it was in Wuhan. And China won both the Thomas and the Cups fairly convincingly. Confirmation of our chair umpire today. And the service judge from Austria. So Lino Munoz to get us underway. Purple and blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, China, represented by Zheng, and on my left, Mexico, represented by Lino Munoz. China to serve.
So China to get us underway, Chen Long to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Mauritius, represented by Badminton.
Generous applause then for the first point played. Mexico, a huge moment for them. What an experience for these players. Thunderous finish from Chen Long. Puts his body weight down through the line of the shuttle very well. Well, it's always normally been America, Canada, or indeed Peru to qualify from the Pan Am Continental Championships. History made today as the Mexicans here for the first time in the Thomas Cup finals. Well, it was back in February. Guadalajara had to beat Guatemala on Wednesday the 17th of February. Thursday the 18th they beat United States of America, and on the Friday the 19th of February beat Canada, and Saturday as well. That's how they came through. Pan Am Continental Championships, the Mexicans. That's a lovely finish. Gets his scoreboard reeling, which of course is critical for confidence. So China undoubtedly overwhelming favourites here, but a huge step for the Mexicans. Mexican badminton today. Celebration on their arrival. Well, Chen Long's so good in defence there, as you saw, that forehand block, but not backing up as well as he normally does. Putting himself well, though. Munoz from the off here. In all honesty, difficult to see where Mexico can pick up a point against this Chinese powerhouse team. But encouragingly, they've rested Lin Dan today, which is rather sympathetic of them. Oh! Great smash kill. Well, it was a good leave. It was indeed wide. Lino Munoz, the highest ranked of the Mexicans, of course, because they have to play in that order with the highest ranking players starting. Off a ranking of 73rd in the world right now. Pretty much his career high. Brilliant. Well, he's certainly very sprightly, isn't he? What a start from the Mexican. Just opting to change the shuttle. Chen Long, what an astonishing athlete this man is. Very strong power to body weight ratio. Such precision about everything that he does on the match court. And indeed his whole lifestyle, frankly, very disciplined. High level of expectation on the Chinese team, of course, but they normally manage that very well. Some really good tight net shots and backing up well the Munoz. Getting up well to the smash. Huge moment for the man in purple up against the world #1. Desperate to acquit himself really well and make a fist of this.
11-6.
Oh. Superb, a great example of the precision of the world #1 there. Still too cute with the tight net shot. Well, the Mexican camp will be delighted with their efforts so far. You'd imagine it's about now that Chen Long will start to accelerate away and ratchet up to another gear. The precision, net play from Munoz. Chen Long not fully dialed in.
7.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Well, he did well to recover that. The pressure overwhelming in the end as Chen Long levels up in this tight opening game. Well, Lino Munoz doing very well to stay with the world #1. Slight slip there. Just a quick towel down. Chen Long accelerated away with a 3-love advantage here, but then pegged back immediately by the Mexican.
Play. 7. 8. 7.
Chen Long 2 years older than his opponent today, 27 years old, plays 25-year-old in picture. Yeah, so powerful overhead. Good idea from Munoz to lift and get Chen Long to the backcourt, but he's so strong over there, and multiple winners already with that pattern of play. There's a real presence about him on the match court. Very physical.
11, 15.
Leland. 7, 8, 13, 15.
Well, there's been some wonderful touches from Munoz as well as Chen Long. But Chen Long, you'd imagine, has seen it all before. Exposed to the very highest levels in the world game, of course. And he has several ways to pick a lock. 3-point advantage here as we head to the mid-game interval. Well, that was a good reverse slice from Munoz. Got it done in the end. Reduces the deficit to 2 points then. Oh, that's a shame. He engineered that very, very well, and just missing the final touch there. It was a thunderous smash, hit that well. A little too cute there. So Chen Long then, with the 3-point advantage as we head to the mid-game interval. Deep discussion with the team coach, who himself has a delicate and pivotal role out here, you'd imagine. He's got to think about the team as a collective, of course. And priority #1 is to win this tie. He wants to give his best players as much full time as possible to get used to these playing conditions. But of course he has to then expose the future stalwarts in their development as well. Nurse the egos. Be a little compassionate regarding that as well. And then tactically engineering the squad. That's the job of the team captain, to manipulate and really put players where they need to play. And on occasions, really manipulate that order of play favourably. So starting to accelerate away as anticipated. Chen Long now, who's been really very consistent throughout 2016, as you'd imagine. 3 finals already this year: Malaysian Open, Body China Masters, Grand Prix Gold, losing to Lindan there in straight games, but final again of the Asian Badminton Championships. Lost out to Lee Chong-wei in 3 close games. I guess really the only major hiccup for him this year was the All England Open, when he lost in that second round to Su Song. But of course Munoz just not used, you'd imagine, to the highest levels of play. That said, he's doing very, very well out here, doing his nation proud. And of course, refreshing for these guys to play for the country for a change and put personal ambition to the side. Oh, that was a beautiful touch. Straining every sinew to get there. Couldn't quite control the end range in doing so. Look at this. Beautiful. From the world #1. So 4 points separate them right now then. 14 points to 10. Chen Long with the serving advantage. That's a good leave. General consensus is that there is a slight drift on the back of Chen Long. Well, he read the situation, closed it down so quickly, but it was such a tight net shot from Chen Long here that he couldn't quite get up to it. Delight from the crowd.
16-11.
As the behind the back shot continued the rally, to no avail in the end. Good skills though, appreciated from the partisan crowd here in the Kunshan Sports Centre. Oh, almost terrific defense from Munoz. Chen Long shifting through the gears, a 6-point advantage. Well, the expectations for the #1 seeds to emerge comfortably and at a canter, frankly, but we shall see. It's always interesting to see how it unfolds. And there's Lindan with his cap on back to front, looking very relaxed. So today, the Chinese team will expose another young player, Qiao Bin, in favour of Lindan. Qiao Bin ranked 53rd in the world. Interesting to see how he goes against Ramon Garrido. That'll be our third match in this tie. Pressure telling then on Munoz now. 9 points separate them. Multiple game points for Chen Long. Yeah, the luck of the net cord.
12, 20.
But it feels a little too late. Too much work to do, you'd imagine, to pull this one around as we hit or approach 2 o'clock local time here in Kunshan. This man with it all to do if he wants to continue this opening game. Chen Long seemingly with just so much time on the shuttle. Used to playing at this level and above as well. So, doing what we anticipated from the off, the world #1, after a tight start, eventually finding his form and getting the opening game, 21 points to 12 as they change ends. And Munoz, well, you have to say he's acquitted himself really rather well. Staying with Chen Long in a 19-minute opening game. Getting some encouragement from the coach. As I say, when you consider that the majority of his badminton's been played around the international series, runner-up in Argentina, semi-finals Colombia and international, semi-finals in Peru as well. There's some of his career highlights, if you will. But he has plenty to ponder as they change ends. Having said that, he acquitted himself really very well on this world stage. The media spotlight shining so brightly. Desperate to put his front foot forward is this man against the world #1. What a thankless task it is, frankly, and he's acquitted himself really very well so far. So, can he take it further? That, you imagine, would be the goal from the coach. Chunk it down into something achievable. He managed to get 12 points last game. Let's see if you can get to 15.
20 seconds.
So, game 2 just about to get underway.
Second game. Level. Play.
3, 6.
There's such precision and grace to the way that Chen Long does his business on the match court, isn't there? It just looks so easy because he is in such fine physical condition. Superbly balanced. He doesn't hinge from the back. His legs are so strong. End range control, phenomenal. Never seems rushed.
2 love.
And of course, it's one thing being able to play against the best in the world, but you've also got to stamp your authority on these lesser ranked players, which he's doing really rather well right now. Playing with real assertion. Great point from Munoz there.
Service over.
Spreading the court nicely.
2.
Wonderful point. Engineered beautifully by both. Chen Long with the more powerful smash.
1.
And when he crunches that one, bone-crushing power. It's coming through so quickly, so tough to not buckle under the weight of that pressure as an opponent to this man. 2 points to the good then in the second game here. Yeah, pressure telling. Precision from Chen Long.
1.
You'd imagine that Munoz is trying desperately to keep Chen Long from the net, where he's more precise, more balanced, more accurate, more consistent. But of course that comes at a risk, because he has also a wonderful smash.
5. 1.
Just that little bit better in many departments, this man. Well, there was no out call. Munoz delighted.
20. Match point 11.
Thunderous body smash.
3. 5.
Struck with real authority and audacity, frankly, at the world #1. You're not allowed to do that to me.
Play.
There we are, rear court winners from Chen Long. Just testament to the power of the man from the back court. Yeah, so deceptive.
6. 3.
Look at that reverse slice. Shuttle just dropped like a stone as it cleared the net then. Yeah, and so quick to close there as well.
7.
Testament to those powerful quads that he has, all the muscle in the upper leg. Very explosive, full of fast twitch fiber. And again, the reverse slice exposing the front court of the Mexican. So 5 points separate them in game 2. Yeah, and this is what happens. This is pressure on the badminton court. The underdog now feeling that he has to go tighter to the lines, and that's just what Chen Long wants. He's just been squeezing throughout. He makes his side of the court feel like a postage stamp. So little room to squeeze by him.
10, 3.
Well, it was called out. And we haven't had a challenge so far in this match, unusually. Well, it was okay that way, but I think it was wide on the long line.
Play.
And again, the back behind. But again, nothing doing in that regard. And as they head to the mid-game interval, Chen Long looking a lot more comfortable now. He really is fully dialed in and into his stride. Looking comfortable. A quick glance at his opponent just to check out the more despondent body language, as you'd imagine. Such a reasonable showing in the opening game, but yet to really ignite in this second game. Chen Long seemingly having all of the answers now.
The third match on Portugal will be the group stage of Yuba Cup, women's singles. Chinese Taipei versus Mauritius.
Court 1, 20
And
seconds.
over the 67 years of this tournament history, the Thomas Cup has been won remarkably only by 4 nations: Malaysia, Indonesia, China and Japan, of course, last year. Japan beating China in the semi-finals.
11, 3. Play.
3-0 that was. And China will be desperate to avenge that loss. They'll meet on Wednesday in the group stages. Two titans in Group A going toe-to-toe. I'll be taking you through the action then, turning our attention back here to this one. How did he get out of jail there? Chen Long, super agile in defense. Look at this turnaround. Down and out you thought there, but look at that. Reading the play so well. Knew that Munoz would go to the open court. And a cheeky little lift from Chen Long, and a timely one as well. Munoz barely recovering court. He thought that was done and dusted, as it would have been against the majority of players in the world, but not the world #1. You have to do more. The shuttle comes back more often. Understandably, this man's so skilled. Only the very best, playing their best, can occasionally wriggle past Chen Long. Oh, that is blissful. Laying down the forehand corner of Munoz a lot mid-rally there, Chen Long, just so he could expose the opportunity with that reverse slice to the short backhand of Munoz. And just spreading the court so beautifully, with time to spare, and there's a grace and elegance watching him against the man ranked 73 in the world. And an appreciation of his skills. Paramount right now. Yes, wonderful. Peppering the backhand side of Chen Long.
4-13.
Having to work so hard for crumbs is Munoz right now. Precision has to be there time and again, multiple times per rally, just to stay with Chen Long. Four match courts in operation today. An atmosphere building nicely here in Kunshan on Sunday. Continuing coverage for you all week here from the Total BWF Thomas and Uber Cups.
Represented by Zheng. And my left future, represented by Yuchen.
Badminton bonanza all week. Little too cute Munoz there. That one spurned out of desperation as it finds the tape. He knows it has to be tight. Errant as a consequence. Oh. Surprised he didn't challenge there. Going with the lines judge. Accepting the call humbly. 10 points adrift then, this man. Frustrations etched all over his face. It's been a tough day at the office so far for Munoz, who's acquitted himself well. Chen Long with all the answers now. Oh, brilliant. Such precision in execution from Chen Long. Wonderful to watch. 10 points between them, and just 5 points away from winning this opening match now, Chen Long. Oh yes, commanding badminton again, smashing to the body backhand in fact again, and 3 times we've seen in this match Munoz having to go for the back behind. Apologetic and respectful of his opponent, as he always is, Chen Long. He's in the driving seat of this one now for sure.
Reserve 7-17.
So these guys doing very, very well to supersede Canada, America, in the Pan Am Continental Championships. They host the Mexican City Grand Prix in December. Last year, top seed in that event, and the winner was Sayaka Sato from Japan. The year prior, in 2014, it was all Mexican finals. But it's good that these guys are getting excellent international exposure and experience. And all the Mexican players are off or around their career high rankings, which is very encouraging for Mexican badminton. They hosted the Pan Am Junior World Championships in 2015 in Tijuana, Mexico. Got a couple of talented juniors as well that we won't be seeing today. So Elton Fria Martinez is one, Francisco Travina another, 16 and 18 years old. So their development program pretty good. Their side swelling in number as a consequence. Chen Long with a wry smile as we await the challenge. The heart is beating, eyes upwards, and it was indeed on the line. And it's in.
Now let's welcome the players.
2 points away now then. Chen Long been on court 36 minutes.
Malaysia.
20, match point 7.
Well, the shuttle spills wide. Chen Long, very humbly, the winner. Gracious in victory. And this is how it finished.
Match won by China.
Munoz acquitting himself very, very well, but after 37 minutes played, it's the world number one who, in the end, totally orchestrated that second game. 21-12, 21-7. Chen Long through, and it's the opening match in this tie in favour of the top seeds. Unsurprisingly, China 1-0 up. Ever powerful, but totally in control, Chen Long. Strong in end range, in defence as well as in attack. And just a masterful performance from the best player in the world. So next up will be Tian Houwei and Castillo. Just confirmation of the score then. China 1-0 up, with Chen Long winning in 2 straight games. So the first of our 5 matches concluded, and we have 4 more for you. So Tian Houwei up next as the second Chinese player selected. Lin Dan rested, which I think is pretty good captaincy, frankly, because if seeding goes to plan, the Chinese team will be playing a lot of badminton this week, and I think it's a clever idea just to rest and perhaps even alternate your top players in a match where, frankly, they are outstanding favourites against the 14th seeds. So Tian Houwei will be playing against Castillo next, and then Qiao against Luis Ramon Garrido, and then the might of the Chinese pairs in doubles thereafter. It's all about a race to 3 matches, of course, but in the group stages, all 5 matches have to be played. That's just customary, because, of course, it's just a good discipline, and also a little tidier as well regarding the scores at the end of the group stages. Easier to quantify things, and, of course, the top 2 teams winning through the group stages will be etched in and inked into the quarterfinal draw sheet. So 3 ties for your viewing pleasure today. Next we'll be bringing you Denmark, the 8th seeds in the Uber Cup. They're up against Spain. But of course, very early doors here in this China-Mexico Tom's Cup encounter. So our court officials making their way to the court. And you can see that it's the 3rd court down from the bottom of your picture. There's Tian Houwei. What a year he's had. He's playing off of a career high at 6th in the world. And there's his opponent, Castillo. World ranked 92nd in the world, off of his career high as well. All bar 1 spot for the man in purple and blue. So Houwei offering the point toss to his opponent. I believe Castillo has opted to serve. Tian, Houwei takes the left side of the board as we're looking at it. So this young man, 23 years of age, world rank 92. His compatriot doing very, very well in Lino Munoz, acquitting himself very, very well against the world #1 in the first showing in the Thomas Cup of the Mexicans. So just confirmation of the second men's singles then in this tie. Tian Houwei from China up against Castillo. Lefty v righty encounter. Tian Houwei, just a year older, at 24 years old. Born in Fujian province. As I said, playing off of his career high is the lefty. Played 6 tournaments this year. One round of 16 showing in the Indian Open. 3 quarterfinals, the German Open. Lost out to Jan Jorgensen, the Malaysian Open and the Singapore Open as well. Castillo, well, he was born in Guadalajara, just that year younger. And, well, quite a lot of places lower on the world ranking list, but that's understandable. He doesn't quite have the exposure of the top class tournaments of his opponent today, who incidentally was the runner-up of the All England Open earlier in the year, losing out to Lindan in the final, and he was trailing, was Tian Houwei, in all of his matches, lost all of the opening games, so very Houdini-esque in his escapology was Tian. But this man has had some great wins throughout his career. He's beaten Hans-Christian Wittingus, Kenta Momoto, Chen Long indeed in the Japan Open back in September of last year. Kadambi Shrikant and Tommy Sugiarto as well. So some great results for Tian Houwei over the last 12 months or so.
3-6.
So both men undergoing their rituals. Simon O in the chair. Uday Sen, the service judge. So just about to get match 2 underway. Castillo to serve.
Service over, 4-7. Service over. 1-0.
Well, of course, for this young man, it's tough enough playing a man ranked 6th in the world, but being a lefty as well, of course, the patterns of play are just ever so slightly different and take a little while to get used to. Oh, it's wonderful finish from the lefty.
9-4.
Important for Castillo to get his scoreboard reeling from the off, particularly with this gulf in ranking that he's up against.
10-4.
And that's good play, because it's easy to sort of force the play and come out the wrong side of it, but that was patiently engineered from Castillo.
11-4, interval.
This man was 170th in September of last year in the world rankings. So he's done very, very well to shave, what, approximately 80 places off of that figure. He was a runner-up in the USA International of this year. Semi-finalist twice in Puerto Rico 2015 International Series, and Mexicano as well.
32, 20 seconds, 32, 20 seconds.
Well, it was well struck, but just a little wide of the mark for Castillo.
3, 2, 3, 11, 4, 12, 10, 9, 4, 3, 12, 4.
That's the first challenge of the match then, from the Mexican.
13, 4.
Well, he's pretty confident as well with his body language, and seems very assured in that challenge, and a wry smile to his captain. Oh, it was wide. And a perplexed look over his face as he felt that really was in. But there we are. So 2 challenges remaining.
7, 3, 11, 9, 10, 10, 10. It's over. 14, 5.
That's a shame, because that was brilliant defense from Castillo on the wide backhand.
6, 14.
Just spilling wide there with the smash. Wow, longest rally of the match, this one.
8, 14.
Oh, that's brilliant. Real patience from the Mexican. He'll be delighted to win that one. That was a long, lung-busting point, and very, very good to close that down and put a lid on the point in his favour. And rightly, both men going for the towel. What a cracking rally that was. Houwei so patient and supremely fit, the left-hander. But Castillo outdoing him on that occasion, opting to change the shuttle. Just ushered on to get on with it. Respectfully from the umpire. Felt that he's almost stalling for time. Dripping with sweat already.
Over 17, 9.
Interesting feature of this point and match so far is the way that Houwei is peppering his attack down the forehand side of Job Castillo, and then exposing the forecourt on the backhand like that. It's really clever play by the world number 6. Look at this again, just not really fearing the smash power of the Mexican. Another long, grueling rally. Just probing and maneuvering the shuttle all around 4 corners of the court, these two. That's wonderful. Tight net shot off the backhand side from Tian. And he extends his lead by 4 points now in this opening game. Beautiful, deceptive forehand return from Castillo. Well, he wanted an out quickly in that point, didn't he? And the patience of Houwei, despite losing the longest rally of the match earlier, is telling now. Castillo, as with Munoz, having to work extremely hard against another top 10 player for anything. So frugal in error, the Chinese players.
Service over, 10-20.
Castillo must be thinking that he's won the point twice already. Look at that. And just faltering in the end because the shuttle just coming back to another difficult area of the court when he thinks he had it won multiple times. So 6 points separate these two now, with the Mexican starting to really blow.
First game won by China, 21-11.
You'd imagine the man in the purple and blue is going to have to really accelerate off this overhead to keep Tian from carrying on with that tactic. Wonderful tight net shot from him there.
4-9.
That was a wonderful response. Look at that. Good front court play from the man drenched in sweat already. Job Castillo. Guadalajara, just 23 years old.
Court 20 seconds. Court 20 seconds. Final game. Level.
On a long, tiring rally. Both men using every square inch of the court, and in the end it was Castillo that wilted. Such a tough physical contest so far, this one.
14-16.
Tian Houwei so far with a run of 3. Good job Castillo can manage his run of 2.
Second game.
Nearing the mid-game interval then. The Chinese player in the ascendancy, demonstrating real patience and building decision there though.
3.
Castillo just buckling around that final shot in the rally, and Tian Houwei, well, real diligence with his physicality in this match already, to the delight of the red-clad Chinese coaches. China investing so much in football right now with their academies, and it seems whatever they turn their hand to, they seem to get so successful at. I think of tennis with Lino winning the French Open, of course, the Chinese player, and getting to world #2 with the real trailblazer in tennis terms. Only one male tennis player inside the top 200 rankings, though Zheng, who's 193rd ranked, is 6'2". But proving that height is a real issue in tennis, not so in badminton. The shorter players really tough to beat with their speed, agility and defensive skills. We resume though with Houwei in the driving seat of this opening game. Job Castillo, despite hitting the shuttle very, very well, just coming out with not a lot of points on the board so far. He's acquitted himself well from the off. We've been treated to some really good, lengthy rallies, testing the world #6, but Tian having the last laugh on multiple occasions. Look at that trick shot from Castillo. We saw several back behinds from Munoz in the opening match of the tie. Well, nice try. Nice try. Finding it very difficult to win points against Chen, who is just so measured, so strong, and tough to nudge off balance. A leave out of desperation, you would imagine there. Well, whatever happens here, China play France tomorrow on Monday. Japan will play Mexico in Group A. And the two powerhouses in Group A, obviously China and Japan, outstandingly so. Japan being defending champions, of course, of 2014 in this event. China, the top seeds. But the big showdown in Group A, really, is when these two giant nations go head-to-head on Wednesday. China against Japan. I'll be taking you through the action on that one. So, Japan may struggle to defend their title. A little hamstrung, you'd imagine, without two key players. 2014, Kento Momota and Kenichi Tago. It'll be interesting to see how they go, because they also have depth in their side, so it should be an interesting contest. Oh, wonderful finish. And again, look at the physicality of Tian Houwei when he hits this smash. Watch where his body is going, spilling down through the line of the shuttle again. Quick to follow up. Used to that shuttle coming back time and again. Crowd enjoying a very long rally on an adjacent court 3, just behind the server in your picture there. There's a real din of energy and noise around the stadium right now. Hosts about 6,000 seats. Kunshan Sports Centre here, and it's starting to crackle on this Sunday afternoon, 2:40 local time here in Kunshan, Jiangsu province. So 2 points away from the opening game now, Tian Houwei, with a very dictatorial performance against a man who plays very, very well, but not quite as effective There's a lot of the opponents that Tian Houwei has faced this year. And it seems that one of the features of this man's play is that he's not scared to lift and clear towards the forehand court of Castillo, who is struggling to generate pace off of his forehand smash, but it doesn't seem to really hurt the shuttle as much as most. Chen Houwei just opening up the court there with his smash very effectively. So, 13 game point opportunities for the world number 6. Sealed with the off smash winner. Tian Houwei fairly comfortable, 21-7 then in the opening game. That'll delight him and his compatriots, as it indeed it will. The partisan crowd here in Kunshan. Well, what a tough job it is for the man in the white tracksuit top. As team captain, what do you say to your charge, who really is up against it? He's managed to acquire 7 points, that's all, against Tian Houwei. I think he really needs to go after that forehand smash. Give it a bit more pop, frankly. Because Tian Houwei is just outmaneuvering him. You can see that he's just really sweating profusely because we've had some really long, engaging rallies. But he's come out with very little so far. So really up against it, as we anticipated. Tian Houwei desperate to get on with proceedings. So China on top in match 2 after game 1.
Sandy. Double play.
So start of the second game in match 2. China with Tian Houwei.
1 love.
Game ahead.
11-10 interval.
China only competed in this competition from 1982, so they're relative newcomers, but of course not as new as Mexico, who are just debutants here this year. So making history. China have 9 titles to their name, and indeed they've won 5 out of the last 6 events in the Thomas Cup. Losing out to Japan, who they will meet on Wednesday in desperation to avenge that defeat. Other nations that have been in the final multiple times: Denmark, 28 final showings. Indonesia, Malaysia, 25 times. Korea, 16 times.
$11-10. Play. $12-10.
Yeah, there was an out call, and it was a good leave from Castillo. who you would imagine during these long, grueling rallies, you would imagine his mind becoming a little bit like a washing machine, but he was very calm and composed there, and it was a very good leave. So he draws level with Tian, which he has to stay with him as long as he can now, because Tian showed us in the opening game that he's a very good front runner. So challenge is being called. We're going upstairs for this one.
Chinese Taipei versus Mauritius.
Gesturing to the umpire, am I allowed to towel now? Yes.
While
we wait.
Chinese
As
Taipei.
long as you're quick.
Shania Lam, Mauritius.
It's over. 13-11.
So Group A will be an intensely competitive affair between China and Japan on Wednesday. I'll be bringing you all the action. Day 4, session 12. Mark that one down in your diary. Oh, it was indeed out. So an incorrect challenge for this man.
The following match on court 3 will be the group
Pretty short.
stage of Thomas
He has
Cup,
2 remaining.
men's doubles, Japan versus France.
Third song. 3, 2.
Hiroyuki Edo, Kenichi Hayakawa, Japan. Baptiste Galen, Ronan Lava, France.
Well, that one's spilling a fair way
Let's
long.
go challenge. Ball out.
Wow, I'm really surprised Castillo challenged that. That was spawned out of desperation, you imagine. That was a long way out in badminton terms.
12-15.
Good showing here, important for the better players, as ranking points here will really help with regards to their seedings in Rio, the Olympics, on the grandest world stage in August. Yeah, just proving
Challenge.
that the challenge was unsuccessful, way out.
5-2.
Tian extends his lead to a game and 3-point advantage now, both with one challenge remaining. So quick to pounce.
6-2.
Such a good sense of when their opponent's under pressure and really at full stretch, and then just closing the net down as a consequence, just trying to get a step ahead of play. That was a great dig there from Castillo, but to no avail in the end. Chen ever alert, stealthy. And look at how he's turned this point around. The man at the top of your picture. Oh, phenomenal reverse slice. So deceptive. Of course, this Thomas Cup is made up of the defending champions, Japan, the host nation, China, all 4 semi-finalists from Asia, India, Indonesia, Korea, Malaysia, Europe, all 4 semi-finalists from the European Championships, Denmark, Germany, England and France. And the winner of the Pan Am Continental Championships, Mexico. The winner of the Oceania Championship, New Zealand. And the winner of the African Championship, South Africa. And they're the 3 highest ranked teams by ranking: Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong and Thailand. That makes up the 16 teams in the Thomas Cup, each subdivided into 4 groups.
Oh. So it's over. 18-14.
They'll play off each of their 3 matches throughout the opening first 4 or so days, and then the winners of the group and the runners-up of each group will go through to a fresh draw of the top 8 teams from the quarterfinal knockout stages of this Thomas Cup contest. So it's all happening. Drama unfolding to the max over the next 7 days or so. From Kunshan. Do stay with us, enjoying this brilliant world-class action. And again, just testament to the fact that he feels that he has to go for lines. And that one spilling wide as Tian just consolidates and extends his lead. It's behind the shuttle so well there, but he just hasn't quite delivered enough pace and venom on any of those overheads today. Not really troubled Tian. Understandably, the man is the top 10 player. Oh, so close. It teetered on the net cord.
20.
But he's worked so tirelessly, has Job Castillo out here, and he really has acquitted himself well, as did his compatriot Munoz. But the Chinese opponents just give nothing for free. So as we head to the mid-game interval in game 2, it's all China again, as anticipated.
11-5. Interval.
So a 6-point deficit then for Team Mexico. They've got it all to do. They're trailing the match, remember, in this overall tie. This is match 2. And this man really up against it. After 27 minutes played, there's not a whole heap on the scoreboard. But that said, it's a celebration of them being here. Just can't seem to take charge. Job Castillo doesn't have enough power, frankly, to quite hit through Tian Houwei. Only 5 other players in the world do so at the moment, with Tian ranked 6th. And he is serving 11-5 up in the second game. Yeah, and as we said, Job Castillo finding it difficult to end the rally. Tian rather more free swinging now, buoyed by that scoreboard advantage as well. He has room to maneuver, and he can start freewheeling, you'd imagine, being just that little bit more expansive with his play. A little too greedy with that one.
Service over. 6-1.
So is there any more resistance from Job Castillo in this second match?
Final game.
This match will be streamed all over the world. No doubt his fans at home will be watching avidly, and his friends and family, his team.
Third hold. Third hold.
1 low.
He's got some lovely deceptive touch. Just can't quite finish often enough against the opponent today. That is gorgeous. Absolutely brilliant. Just trying to get Tian Houwei away from the front of the court with a few decent punch clears and lifts. And then look at that, the reverse smash, brilliantly executed. Reverse slice, I should say. Good leave. Again, very subtle drift.
Service over. 14.
Coming towards the face of Tian, Houwei. So 7 points separate them. And mirroring his score from the opening game now, Castillo, can he do better? Still has room and time to do so. It's all about salvaging some dignity and pride from now on in. And the team coach will be looking for a little aptitude and application here.
Service over, 3-1.
Houwei masterful at coming out the right side of these kind of long exchanges more often than not. And look at this, just wow. Incredible control of the shuttle. Just asking another very, very physical question of his opponent, Job Castillo, I should say. Another lung-busting encounter.
Service over, 2-4.
So Tian Houwei has managed a couple of runs of 5 consecutive points in this second game. Really is applying a lot of pressure onto Castillo.
13-7.
Well, you can certainly count the number of unforced errors on one hand from Tian Houwei. And of course, when they play down, and that's said with the utmost respect, because Job Castillo is inside the top 100. He's 92nd ranked in the world. But you can see that Tian just has that increment of more time on the shuttle. And he's using that to great effect. It allows him to be a little bit more expansive, a little bit more accurate. And of course, ultimately, a lot more consistent than his opponent today.
3-5.
Wonderful smash. Now, that's what we've been looking for throughout. A little bit more pop on that overhead, just to keep Tian at bay. Now had accuracy and pace. Well played.
Service over, 18-8. Service over, 9-18.
Oh, good power on the overhead again. And you can see what I was talking about. Just needs that little bit more spike in that department. And this is what happens. It's enough to buckle Tian Houwei. Desperate to stay in every rally, hungry to crush his opponent. And it's a certain competitor that has this mentality. That's why he's inside the top 10, Tian Houwei. Merciless. Doesn't want to give anything away and wants to really make a statement of intent to the rest of the potential opponents this week, does this man. Both men playing off their career highs respectively, so it's encouraging. Another brilliant rally from both. Oh, and Tian Houwei just nets there overhead. That disappointed him. You could tell that one hurt. Tough psychologically to lose these long, grueling points. They're real pivots in the match, these kind of points. And that would really buoy Castillo, you would imagine.
Thank you.
He's done well. He now has 11 points on the scoreboard, succeeding in his quest to better his score in game one, you'd imagine. That's what he's done well. He's just been a little bit more effective off that overhead. Injection of pace, but not so there. Tian just so good in turning defense into attack. As he regains the advantage here. He's 8 points clear, just 2 points away from giving China the 2-0 match advantage in this tie. So 9 match points for Houwei, who really has been firing on all cylinders out here. And he hasn't disappointed. It's been a good learning experience for Job Castillo. The Mexicans, all of them, particularly youngsters in the pack, will be drinking in all of these experiences to better their games, no doubt. That one spills long, though. Good leave, good decision from Castillo, who wants to detain Houwei just that little bit longer. But you feel the writing on the wall on this one. Still 8 match point opportunities for the world number 6. That spills wide, and indeed it is Houwei who consolidates and comes through in just 38 minutes played. 21-7. 21-12.
Match won by China, 21-7, 21-1.
And he just was beaten to the post by Chen Long, who won in 36 minutes, 2 points quicker than him. So perhaps there's a little banter on the bench between those two later. But it is Houwei safely through to give China the 2-0 advantage in this match. There's confirmation of the score. We'll be back in a second with Qiao Bin, 53rd ranked against Luis Ramon Garrido. So just confirmation of the scoreline then in this match. Chen Long with the win, Houwei as well, both in straight games. Fairly emphatic performance from the world number 1 Chen Long and the world number 6 Tian. So a window of opportunity without Lindan playing for the Mexicans here, perhaps. Luis Ramon Garrido up next. against Qiao Bin of China. A young man who's been given the okay after all of his diligent work, no doubt, throughout the last 12, 18 months. And then the might of the Chinese doubles specialist thereafter. So, just confirmation of our score. And we'll await the walk-on of our players and court officials shortly for the third match in this overall tie. And of course, to give you a context, it's all about a race to 3 matches, of course, which will seal the tie, but all 5 will be played in this group stage. There's the action unfolding over all 4 courts today from Kunshan. A real badminton bonanza of brilliance to watch. Court number 1 is 3rd down on the right there. And we have doubles down on court 2 at the very end. Ladies doubles in an Uber Cup tie between China and Malaysia. But the Chinese turning their attention as well to football. They want 50 million people playing football by 2020 in an attempt to manufacture success, a global superpower in football they want to become. And their goal, well, to win a World Cup hosted in China. So they take their sports very seriously, and they are seriously a force to be reckoned with, no doubt about that. So we're going to get a look at a young Chinese player and a fresh face. Here he is, 23 years old, Qiao Bin, world ranked 53rd, and his opponent today, Ramon Garrido, world ranked 110 off of his career high, the man in purple and blue. He's only 20 years old. So, battle of the youngsters here in this one. And it's going to be interesting to see how particularly this young player handles the sense of occasion. I only have 3 results for him this year. Only played 3 tournaments in 2016. Man on the left, marginally taller, and 3 years older than his Mexican opponent today. Qiao Bin opting to serve. Ramon Garrido has played 7 tournaments in 2016. So we undergo the warm-up. Confirmation of the match that we'll be watching. Qiao Bin of China against Ramon Garrido, the Mexican number 3. Hunan province. This man was born 53rd in the world, being as high as just 4 spots above that. That was in March of this year. And that's probably why he's here, because he's playing off a pretty near to his career high, frankly. He was 170th ranked in September of last year, so that's a massive improvement. Malaysian Masters quarter-finalist, and quarterfinals of the New Zealand Open as well. Second round Bonnie China Masters for this man. But he's had a couple of good wins. He's beaten Kento Momota of Japan and Hans-Christian Vittingus and Victor Axelsen as well. Ramon Garrido, let's turn our attention from him. The man from Monterrey, ranked, as I said earlier, 110 in the world, so over double the ranking of his opponent today, and he again is off of almost off of his career highest ranking of 106. So he's made the semi-finals of a Guatemalan International Series in 2016, has Garrido. Semi-finals in Auckland International as well last year, and he was runner-up in Trinidad and Tobago International of last year as well. So similar to his compatriots, his results, but just marginally lower, coming in third in the Mexican side as a consequence. So 3 players inside the top 110. So Mexican badminton very much on the up, and they are delighted just to be here, having won through that Pan Am Continental Championships for the first time ever. A real treat to have them with us. Now, how will he stand up to this young player? Qiao, world ranked 53rd. It's going to be interesting to see what he brings tactically. And he obviously has an outstanding attitude and work rate, Qiao, otherwise he wouldn't be here. The Chinese only select the best because they have so many good players on tap. Wu is another good player, only 19 years old, did very well at Bonnie China Masters. I think he lost in the semi-finals to Lin Dan.
14-18.
So for this man to get the call with his back to us, I, for one, am very curious as to what he brings. Well, he seems very characterful already, knows what he wants. He's getting the call swept to his liking.
On my right, China, represented by Qiao.
Eddie Rufianto of Indonesia.
China serve, level.
And our service judge, Simon Orr.
Chen, China's Taipei.
Telling smash, he's found the line.
Mauritius.
1 love.
Well, there seems to be a certain freedom already, doesn't there, from the Mexican player, almost as if, well, we've nothing to lose, so let's just go for it. A very bold start from the Mexican player.
Right. 16-18.
Oh, deceptive touch on the return.
So 1, 2. Oh. 2 all.
17.
Well, there's a real buzz in the stadium now. Multiple matches on over 4 courts. It's all happening out here in Kunshan. Crackling atmosphere on Sunday.
So this over 3, 2.
Can't wait until we head towards the business end of this event. Thomas Cup and the Uber Cup, of course, the equivalent in the women's event. 16 teams in that as well, of course, wrestling out for the Uber Trophy.
So this over 3 all.
18 all. 5-3.
Good leave.
4, 3.
So scoreboard symmetry then, nothing between them in this one. Garrido with some very positive signals. Good body language from the off from him. Oh, steep angle created from the jump smash.
5, 4.
very pensive look from Qiao as he's not having his own way from the off here. Garrido really determined to make a fist of this one. That was nice. More of that, gestures the coach. It was like watching Roadrunner, wasn't it? The wheels were turning, but he wasn't going anywhere. He slipped. But tough moments for Qiao here, frankly. China in a really dominant position and a kind of certain level of sort of unwritten expectation on the shoulders of the man on the left as we look at him. Chen long, Houwei winning emphatically. Now, what will this young man bring? Garrido so far very explosive overhead. Good athlete as well. Qiao having to really defend aggressively here just to stay in the point. Garrido really dictating the point very well from the off out here. Well, I was looking for an out call on that, and it was indeed wide. Didn't hear a call. Couldn't see the gesture from the lines judge. It was wide, and Qiao just wants the court attendant to come on, mop up a couple of drops of sweat, seemingly. He does have a presence, this young man, doesn't he? Seems to know what he wants. Strong-minded. That's probably why he's here. He's got a purpose in life. You imagine his goal would be to crack the top 50. 53rd in the world right now. There's a chunk out of that shuttle he's gesturing. Let's have another. So he's got his nose in front by just a point, but he has real issues against Garrido right here, because this man, very explosive, good athlete, very powerful overhead as well. Can he sustain? That's the issue. Oh, that's wonderful.
8-6.
He must be delighted with the way that Luis Garrido is contesting this one, showing real character and vigor. So quick to close, send a message.
9-7.
And singles, of course, all about controlling the net.
2号场地将要进行的是尤伯杯小组赛。
from this man, very assured. The back of the brain needs to be convinced that you're good under pressure. You can't lie to your subconscious. It's as simple as that. So the quality of this man starting to ooze. He shaved 120 world ranking points off his ranking from 170 to 53 over the last 9 months. It's good to see what he brings to the match court. Good leave. So as we head to the mid-game interval then, Qiao 4 points in the ascendancy. But he's had his work cut out. Tough task.
由发完球要注意下推腿，往前这样把弧度起来就可以了。然后他杀比较长嘛，比较长的话呢，你往后位置往后退一点以后，其实他杀球不要等去迎他球，迎他球出一点都没问题。就我说实话，我打过他会有一个射门那个球，我想对啊，中路手一点，他这个切完还挺快。完了，切完他往前着点的时候不要看，啊，等他球出来，不行再往前起来。
So very animated then, the Chinese camp. Barking out some orders from coach to player. So, can this man consolidate? Or will Garrido treat us to some more fireworks? Oh, he's just missed. Spilling over the back line unnecessarily. He engineered the point beautifully. That's wasteful. And that could really hurt in the overall context of this opening game. Big moment, that. Big difference between 11-8 and 12-7. Really need to consolidate after that mid-game interval and win a few points to get some momentum going. Well played. He's got a lovely explosive overhead and got nice clears in there as well. Nice variety. Good level of fitness seemingly. And explosive qualities around the court. Good athleticism. So this is a very watchable match, as the other two were as well. Mexico so far as a team acquitting themselves very, very well out here against this powerhouse nation in China. That's a great turnaround from Garrido.
9-12.
It's a furious tempo that this match has been played at. That one getting too far behind Qiao. Both being desperate to take charge of these rallies, wanting to get on the front foot. Well, the flick serve, not effective in the end.
39.
So 4-point advantage then for Team China in this one. That's nice. Precision and pace blended into one.
9.
5 points between them. That's wonderful. The reverse slice just hit exquisitely.
15-9.
Service over. 1-0. And that. 2-1. 12. Play. 3-1.
Oh, sublime. Wonderfully engineered point from Qiao Bin.
16-9.
Had it all in at that rally. Immaculate defense from both turning the point around well. Slight slip there, underfoot from Garrido. Well contested points.
13-17.
That's nice. Wonderful little block
17.
in response to a pretty powerful smash, frankly. But that is reflexive brilliance from Qiao Bin, who has impressed so far. An extremely strong-minded young man who looks on a mission to get that ranking considerably higher.
Silver, 14-18.
18-9.
Starting to run away with this opening game now then, Qiao Bin. Taking his time to keep the pressure on the underdog. That is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Straight, tight net shot here. Look at that. He looks seemingly well off balance, but he's got the racket head right out in front of him, arm extended. Wonderful control from Garrido. Who is quite an explosive player in himself and just wonderful to watch. Plays almost gung-ho badminton, doesn't he? Really is not scared of going after it and leading the way. So very characterful, both these players. Only 20 years of age, Luis Ramon Garrido. Encouraging future, you'd imagine. But experiences like this, well, you've got to learn from them, whatever happens, win, lose or draw. That's how you move on and evolve through the rest of the year. And how consistently he can apply his skills. Good leave. And I think Garrido just was challenging as a consequence of the fact that Qiao Bin having to gesture that this point here was long with his finger to the lines judge. You're not going to see it, but he actually pointed out and then the lines judge called. Now, I don't think it had any bearing on the call, but I think that's why Garrido went for the challenge. And it was indeed fairway long, in fact. Challenge unsuccessful. A wry smile. He's got one left.
19-10. Play.
As Qiao Bin closes in on this opening game, just 2 points away. A swing and a miss.
20. Game point 10.
10 game point opportunities have arisen for Qiao Bin. little greedy with that one, perhaps.
Service over. 11-20.
And you can suddenly see, whilst this man has been selective above Lindan today, obviously to rest Lindan, a man with 63 career titles, but he will need his hall time. I would imagine he'll be playing tomorrow rather than Chen Long. Well, that one spills wide, and it is indeed Qiao Bin who takes the opening game, 21-11. After just 17 minutes played then, China in the ascendancy.
4-60.
So the players change ends. And Garrido, a very feisty player, very explosive with everything that he does. And he's got power overhead as well. We've seen a lot of that. Some really poignant, effective power smashes and net kills, and some nice touch as well. A little reckless with some of his decision-making, having to play quite close to lines as well. But of course, he's feeling the pressure from this young man who has acquitted himself very, very well as the Chinese third player in singles today. So they've come with 4 singles players, 6 doubles players. So plenty of scope to rotate players around, and still they stay strong. And you'd have to imagine that the top seeds so far, having seen what we have, are going to prove a tough barnacle to remove in this Thomas Cup competition. Garrido up and ready for the fight.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
He will be up for the second men's doubles as well, going alongside Anglais Lopez. But for now, the second game of this third match is about to get underway. Qiao Bin,
Second game.
a game up for this third match. Yeah, it was long, it was a good leave. Qiao Bin looking a little agitated there as he didn't hear a call. There was the strong gesture from the lines judge in the end. It was obviously close. Garrido opting not to waste his last challenge. So in keeping with the opening game, Qiao Bin resuming in some style here in game 2. Wonderful reverse slice. So deceptive, tough to get a read, and Luis Garrido's been over a few times here, straining every sinew just to keep that point alive. There's no lack of commitment in the Mexican camp, that's for sure. They've tried their hearts out today. Despite the disparity in ranking between the teams, they really have acquitted themselves very, very well. First showing at this level, Thomas Cup finals. Fabulous. They should be proud. Oh, thunderous.
Service over. 1-4.
What a way to get the scoreboard reeling. He knew he had to take a risk because Qiao Bin has been very solid throughout.
Service over. 5-1。
4号场地将要进行的是油锅杯小组赛，中华台北队对阵毛里求斯队的第5场比赛，女子双打。
The following match control floor will be the group stage of Yuchen women's doubles. Chinese Taipei versus Mauritius.
Well, as we see with pressure and scoreboard pressure as such, you see that the opponent in response has to think that they have to play tighter to lines and up the tempo and play with more risk. And as a consequence, they start spilling errors. And they're coming thick and fast now. And that's as a consequence of Qiao Bin having been so solid through the opening game. That's with Chen Long and Tian Houwei giving so little away. Opponents starting to run out of ideas, so to speak. He's had good front court control, this man. And I think in his mind as well, he feels happier because he's got the slight, subtle drift on his face as Qiao Bin. And there's one spilling long as a consequence of the drift there. Qiao Bin can just be a little free swinging. Garrido, well, he has to temper it, which is difficult when you're a game down and you want to play naturally aggressive badminton as he does. That's his personality by the seam of things.
Hakuna Ueda, Japan.
Lucas
Herbert, France.
Qiao Bin sensibly playing very high percentage badminton because he knows that the mistakes will spill from Luis Garrido, and he's absolutely right. It looks like he can play at this tempo all day, doesn't he, Qiao Bin? Yeah, long as well. No challenge from Garrido. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Qiao Bin is at 11-1 and we're at the mid-game interval of the second game. We only just recently resumed after the end of the opening game. So China starting to really run away with this third singles now. Luis Ramon Garrido running out of ideas. He has to dig deep now and keep the shuttle in play for longer, you'd imagine, and just be a little bit more patient, frankly. And look for the correct shot to go after. There's been a few poor decisions from Garrido and poor execution as well. Have to credit Qiao Bin. He's been deceptive, immaculate in defense as he has in attack. Just testament to the fact that the Chinese players are just used to playing at this higher tempo day in, day out, frankly. Something that is new to the Mexicans. They don't see an awful lot of this at international series play. Again, he slips.
Thank you. Line. Service over. 12-2.
Well, there seems to be a contented purr of reassurance from the fairly partisan crowd here in Kunshan, as the Chinese players seem pretty much in control of this one. Oh, nicely done. So deceptive, so balanced. And you have to say, on the showing so far, this man has a bright future ahead in world badminton. Well, it was gestured as good by the hands down from the lines judge.
4-30.
He's sweating profusely, as Luis Ramon, ushering the court attendant on to just wipe some of these drops of sweat off of the court. Of course, that's why he has been slipping. Sensibly, they're obviously well hydrated, the Mexicans, because they're sweating a lot, drenched their shirts. So 9 points separate them in this second game. Garrido with it all to do. Oh, that's just audacious from Qiao. He certainly has a vast array of skills, the 23-year-old. And there was a little fist pump at the end of that point, because he realizes that he really does have now a stranglehold on this match, and he feels really in control. One thing that really jumps out at me is he's a confident young man. Qiao really has good body language, a very assured presence on the court, and he looks like a man that knows he belongs in this situation. For one so young, at 23 years old, that really is quite something. And you feel he really has set sail for home now, Qiao. For the first time in the match, there's a slight despondency in the body language of Garrido, who really has his work cut out. The mountain's gradient has suddenly got very steep for this young man. Nice.
Service Soma. 5-60.
Very, very nice.
6-60.
Just as you thought there was an air of inevitability and sort of undertone of quality oozing from Qiao, Garrido strikes back. A couple of wonderful points.
Service over. 17-6. 18-6.
3 points away then from a 3-love lead now, Team China. In this, the second tie of today on court 1. There will be another match at 7:30 local time. It's going to be an Uber Cup encounter between Denmark, the 8th seeds, and Spain, the 11th seeds. Group A. Oh, that's immaculate from Qiao because Garrido threw the kitchen sink at him there. A lot of fast, flat, hard drives. But he's come out smelling of roses again. And here he is with 14 match points.
Service over. 7-20.
Garrido doing well to delay the seemingly inevitable, saving 2 match points, but still a lot of work to do. There it is then, after just over half an hour played, indeed 33 minutes was all it took. Qiao, world ranked 53rd, wins 21-11, 21-8. So that puts China very much in the driving seat. The tie is concluded, but of course we still have 2 matches to bring you. Both doubles matches will be unfolding in front of our eyes. Men's doubles 1 will be up next, followed by men's doubles 2. Just confirmation then on the graphic there, 21-11, 21-8 in favor of the higher ranked Qiao. Just 33 minutes played. Don't go anywhere, men's doubles up next. China, the tie is theirs, they're 3-love up, to the delight of their local fans. So just confirmation of the match score. China, after all 3 singles, are in the driving seat. No great surprises there, though. The top seeds totally orchestrating affairs out here in the second of 3 ties on court 1 today. But we still have the doubles to unfold, as it were. Li Junhui and Liu Yuchen will be up next against Castillo and Munoz. So the Chinese opting not to call on Fu Haifeng and Zheng Nan on this occasion. The 3rd ranked team in the world will be rested today, and that's really smart captaincy, frankly. They want to save the big guns for the business end of the event as they see it, you'd imagine. Although it's only 1 match a day for a very deep 10-man Chinese team. Just gives them that little bit of a get-out, a bit of a rest as well. And of course, as I said before, the captain's job is to make sure that each of the players get enough time in the main hall, because of course it is very subtly different to the practice hall, what with the differing drift conditions, albeit quite subtle. But But so far, you cannot argue with his choices. China are 3-0 in the ascendancy and acquitting themselves, as we expected, very, very well.
The following match of Court 1 will be the group stage of Thomas and men's doubles. Let's welcome the technical officials.
So the court officials take to the court then, as we head towards 4 o'clock local time here in Kunshan.
Now let's welcome the players.
Followed closely by the players. Li Junhui out first. Li Junhui just 21 years of age, and Yuchen 20. World ranked 11 at the moment, playing off of their career high. Back in June of last year, they were 30th ranked, so they've shaved 19 spots off of that world ranking, commendably. And Castillo and Munoz ready to go. Quite a disparity in height between both teams. But as I say, in badminton, it doesn't really matter. So Liu telling the chair umpire that he's ready to receive. And I think it's Munoz that's going to get us underway with serve. Now, will this doubles have a different complexion about it? Again, the Mexicans very much up against it. It's the young Chinese duo, world ranked 11th. In the middle of 2015, they won 3 tournaments consecutively. The US Open, Canadian Open, and the Vietnam Open as well in men's doubles. Did these two with their backs to us. It's confirmation, Li and Liu against Castillo and Munoz then in men's doubles 1. They played 7 tournaments together this year, these two. Quarterfinals of the Thai Masters. This man, 21 years old, born in Liaoning province. Very tall. I don't know what 195 centimeters translates to, but he has to be north of 6 foot in my language. And he's got a real court presence. But does he have the speed agility of the young Mexican duo? Pretty sure he does. You don't get to world ranked 11th without having exactly that. And his partner today, Yuchen, just a year younger, born and residing in Beijing for obvious reasons. That's where the National Association is based. Most of the players move there anyway. This fellow got lucky. He was born there. Opting for the spiky haircut. It's quite Mohican-like. Yeah, so they played 7 tournaments in 2016. Quarterfinals of the Thai Masters, semi-finals Singapore Open, and runners-up of the Asian Badminton Championships. They beat A-CHN and Tian as well. And Fu and Zheng, the 4th seeds, their compatriots who were rested today. They lost to Li and Yu in the finals. Job Castillo and his partner. Well, we know quite a lot about Castillo and Munoz already, but in men's doubles, they've had a runner-up showing in the Peru International of this year together. They're ranked 43rd in the world, which is very respectable. And also runners-up in Guatemala International Series as well this year. 4 titles together they've got The men in purple and blue won together, all at international level series. And they were ranked 190 in June 2015, so they've made a massive climb up the rankings together with the 4 titles that they own to their name as a team. So should be an enthralling first men's doubles, this. Only 30 spots between them on the rankings. Chinese inevitably marginally higher. But let's see how Munoz and Castillo go against the might of the top seeds here in blue and white. I'm Paul Hand, great to have you along. So 2 doubles matches to enjoy. And then it's going to be a Uber Cup tie at 7:30 local time between Denmark, the 8th seeds, and Spain, the 11th seeds. Just about to get underway then here. China have, if you are just joining us, already won the tie in their race to 3 wins, which they've got. Each of their singles players have won. But we're now just concluding the match with a couple of men's doubles to entertain. And of course, all points critical in the conclusion of the overall groups. And Mond from the States in the chair. Munoz to get us underway from Mexico. And there's our service judge, Eddie Rufianto of Indonesia. So it's leverage and languid strength and power that leverage and height brings against speed, agility and stealth of the shorter team at the top of your picture. Men's doubles, it's all about forcing play to get onto the front foot as soon as possible, trying to get the shuttle down as well, and involving that front court player quickly within the point to get the upper hand. We're going to be seeing a lot of blocks and drives to get the attack first. China with the aggressive court position. Conversely, Mexico just lifting and clearing a lot from the off. Oh, that's rough because they had the upper hand throughout that point as well. But it's the world-ranked 11th duo here with a stranglehold on this opening game already, seemingly, yet to concede a point. So the Mexicans right up against it from the off. Yeah, well, that's one way of winning the point. Lady Luck helping the Mexican duo. But they're on the board. Can they build from here against the might of these two tall, rangy players?
Service over, 7-1.
So quick in the forecourt. So bold and insistent. Oh, it's a great defense from the Mexicans, but to no avail in the end, and a wry smile ekes over the face of Lino Munoz, because he gave it everything he's got. His partner was down on the deck. But already the 30 spots between them on the ranking list apparent. 8-1 to the good China with a really strong start. Terrific return from Munoz there, so quick to pounce. What a good read on that one. Yeah, so telling with the drive, the forehand drive there, Liu. Another chunk taken out of that shuttle. Chinese team very aggressive from the off, but there's a composure about them as well. It all seems rather controlled and repeatable. And that spells trouble for the Mexicans, you'd imagine. You want to go home and salvage some pride here. So a little confusion down the middle of their team.
10-2.
Suddenly, again, in the blink of an eye, the mid-game interval looms. Well, there's a hush in the arena.
11-2.
Li and Liu 11-2 up after just a matter of minutes. Five of them, indeed. That's all it's taken. And one of the great beauties of badminton is, of course, that it's not size dependent, unlike all the other racket sports. But tennis, everybody seemingly in men's tennis is 6 foot plus. These two look to be 6 foot plus. In badminton, yes, some are, but there's a lot of space in the rankings for small, super agile retrievers who are consistent and resilient, a bit like David Ferrer in tennis. But you can feel the power and looseness of these big, tall men here, just about to serve. Umpire insisting that she was still talking and not quite ready for play to resume there. So we'll play the let and replay the point. So they seem to be in the offensive position more often than not, these two. And so good at turning defense into attack. Momentarily in that defensive stance, but then so quick to get to the forecourt there, Lee. And so good at getting to the forecourt and then moving forward as well and imposing themselves on the Mexican duo. Look at this. The flat hard drives are really telling from Li and Liu. Oh, wow. Reflexive brilliance
14-2.
from these two. Total and utter dominance at this stage.
dear. 15-2.
And a certain sympathy for Castillo and Munoz because they have been really up against it here. And effectively, although today these guys are playing #1 on the team here, but Fu and Zheng are world rank 3, and they're the better of the two Chinese pairs. Wow, that's quite something. So China sending out a real message of intent to the rest of the tournament with this utter dominance here, not only in singles, but we've not been on the doubles court for much longer. Well, 7 minutes have elapsed. And look at the stranglehold they have over this match already. There's a respectful hush around the arena as they seem the crowd don't want to rub salt into the wounds of the Mexicans, who have done so well just to get here, having qualified and won the Pan Am Continental Championships. Ah, look at that. Well, it's turning into a rout, this opening game, but it's a very watchable rout, it has to be said. We've had some good rallies, contested well by the Mexicans. Now, that's more like it.
Service over, 3-19.
Good return and quick to pounce from Castillo. Oh, immaculate in defense, these two. So quick to turn points around, so rarely on the back foot. 17 game point opportunities. Oh, they are in menacing mood. 9 minutes was all it took them to seal the opening game. 21 points to 3. Utter dominance from the top seeds. And the way that they kind of swaggered on, Louis, just so relaxed and confident and easy, frankly. And they really have backed it up with a really strong showing, because these two, you know, they've been pretty consistent, but, well, not a lot of words said in the Mexican camp. Just a quick slap on the arm of Castillo from the coach. Crack on, guys, head down. That's been the standout feature, hasn't it? They've been on their front foot throughout, and Mexico right up against the might of the tall, rangy Chinese players. They're a real tough doubles force. And let's make no mistake about it, this team here, 43rd ranked in the world. They're no slouches, but they're getting bullied at the moment. Brilliant to see them here, though, and a real celebration for them. History made in itself, having them here. First time Mexico have ever been represented in the Thomas Cup finals, I should say. So that an achievement in itself. Well, there's a look of resignation about the two of them at the moment. Now, can they turn their fortunes around against these two tall, menacing figures? Junhui and Yuchen.
One love. Service over, 1-all. Yep.
Good leave. There's a calm reassurance about Leon Louis. They seem very focused. They've got that still-eyed gaze. And they have that intuitive understanding of where each other are on the court. And the weaponry they bring, really quite menacing. Good resilience, though, from Munoz Castillo.
2-all.
That one goes down as an unforced error from Louis. Look how good they are in those set plays of serve and return, though. Munoz wants the court swept as he tumbled to the floor.
Lino,
Umpire wants the strap of the bag back in where it belongs. Play will resume.
Go! 4-2.
Chinese coach just insistent that they keep the stranglehold up and don't relinquish their grip.
5-2.
Well, they've got a headlock on this match already.
Service over. 3-5.
All set up with a quality return.
Service over. 6-3.
Cool. Well, that was absolutely ripped.
7-3.
Bone-crushing power from Li. That's just thunderous, isn't it?
8-3.
And what does that send out? A message that, boys, don't bother lifting to me at the back of the court, because I would just dispatch. He was hesitant. I thought at the last minute he was going to play that.
Challenge.
Challenge from Munoz. Born out of desperation, you feel. But at that stage, that's a sensible move with that scoreline. Yeah, was indeed long. A very good leave from Li.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Well, that's what they're there for.
9-3. Yes.
So 6-point advantage then for the Chinese duo. Li is just, everything he touches is turning to gold, frankly, at this stage. Can do no wrong. And he looks like he's kind of swaggering around. He's just so chilled. Look at this. And the power that he unleashes on that overhead is just furious. The Mexicans just having a little chuckle to themselves with arms aloft as if to say, what do we do against this? Well, your sympathies go out. They've been up against it, and you can see the communication between the two of them is minimal because, well, these two are very strong force.
Players, players, we have to wait. The full interval. For 1, 20 seconds. For 1, 20 seconds.
Okay, so made weight by the umpire. But you get a really
11,
good
3, play.
insight into how these guys were runner-up at the Badminton Asia Championships very, very recently. And the fact that they beat the second seeds in A-CHN and Tian and Fu and Zheng from China, the fourth seeds, really, well, strong evidence again with another Chinese pairing heading towards the top in the world rankings. Well, we've seen a sprinkling of unforced errors from Liu. For me, Junhui owning the court out here with his power and ease.
13-4.
Now let's welcome the players.
Now, can the Mexicans build?
Tianxin Zhao Yunlei, China.
Well, as soon as that pattern of play comes into action with this man with the overhead, you know the point's over, frankly. Look at this. Just tearing holes in the defenses of the Mexicans. And that's said with the utmost respect, because I think this is a thankless task. These two really are a big doubles force. Now, I know they have time to play with against the Mexicans, but boy, are they effective. Dare anybody lift to the tall man? It's going to be interesting to see how their results unfold this week.
3号场地将要进行的是汤姆斯杯小组赛，日本队对阵法国队的第4场比赛，男子双打。
The following match on court 3 will be the group stage of Thomas Cup, men's doubles.
But he's also got soft hands as well, Li Junhui. There he is, the man who, for me, owns the court. A very intimidating force. Well, a little confusion there between the two. Rarely see that.
6-16.
Now, a 10-point deficit. Can these two find a pattern of play that trouble the Chinese duo? As the drift spills that one long?
17-6.
The answer at the moment is an emphatic no.
Service over. 7.
What do you say as coach to Castillo and Munoz? Come on, then get to the net, get to the front court quickly. But of course, the flat, hard drives that are coming at them when they do so are really quite buckling, frankly. And it's become a real familiar feature, hasn't it? Not the finish at that point, but the fact that there's just been these short lifts time and again. Testament to the pressure that the Mexicans have been under. That one went their way. Can they build from here?
Service over. 18-8.
Well, everything for Li is hit at Mach 3, frankly. But he's been very effective throughout today, as has his partner as well.
Over. 9-19.
As they yield a rare point to the Mexicans. Nice flick serve to change the scenery. Oh, he has power even in the backhand smash. And that nonplussed look as if to say, yes, I do that all the time.
20, match point 9.
So after no time at all then, 11 match point opportunities for Team China.
Game.
21 minutes in all was all that it took them. What a power display from that man and his partner, Li Junhui.
21-9.
China 4-0 up in match score now. 21 minutes, 22 minutes, beg your pardon. That is quite something. A really strong showing from Li Junhui and Liu Yuchen. So young, what a bright future they have ahead of them, and this is how they did it. Just a few of the highlights then from that very watchable doubles match. The Mexicans, well, they played their part. They were resilient in defense, asking another question, but time and again, The power smashes rain down, the flat hard drives, and the menacing Junhui, who had his way time and again. Bone-crushing power that man has. So that concludes the fourth match. And you can see, yet to concede a game. China, the top seeds, understandably so, blemish-free so far in this tie. So we're going to have the second of the men's doubles up next. That's going to be Houwei, the 27-year-old. He's up partnering Zheng Siwei, a young 19-year-old from China, as a scratch creative pairing, if you will. And they're up against the Mexican second pairing of Andres Lopez and Luis Ramon Garrido, who has had, well, just about half an hour's rest after his last singles encounter, having lost there in the middle of that graphic to Qiao, 21-11 and 21-8. Barely had half an hour, which he's entitled to between matches. That doubles match only just lasted 21 minutes, the fourth match there. But anyway, Luis Ramon Garrido, the sprightly 20-year-old, will be called into action any minute now. So there we are then. China with a stranglehold over this tie anyhow. And well, we started this match at 1:30 local time. It's approaching 4:30, so they've been on court for almost 3 hours now. And there seems an air of inevitability about the outcome of this one. But I think the real standout tie of the heavyweights in Group A will come on Wednesday when China, as top seeds, meet Japan. That should be compelling because Japan, of course, defending champions. Can they, you know, equal and negate the power of Team China? Only time will tell. That'll unfold on Wednesday. Tomorrow, China will play France and Japan will play Mexico. Simultaneously today, France are playing Japan. France, the 13th seeds, they're up against Japan on court 3. But China very much on top of this one. I can bring you news that over on court 3, Japan are 3-0 up against France. And they're into their fourth match there as well. Takashi Komura and Kyogo Sonoda are in their men's doubles against the French duo of Mittelheiser and Karsadi. Just in the opening game there. Early stages of that first men's doubles encounter on court 3 of the other match in Group A, if you will. Our court officials grace the court for the 5th time. On court 1, you can see them just traipsing out there in their bright green and black outfits, and black for the umpire and the service judge. And now our players. Zheng Siwei leads the players out, followed by Houwei. And then Andres Lopez and Luis Ramon Garrido of Mexico. There they are. Now, scratch pairing here for these two. Houwei, we know all about him. But this man, Zheng Siwei, he's only 19 years old. Let's listen to the spin of the point. Andres Lopez electing to serve. And the very tall Houwei with a decision that we didn't hear or see. So I'm not sure who entirely is going to return first out of the Chinese team, but they've started their warm-up already. It's confirmation of the match that we'll be watching. Houwei and Zheng Shui against Andres Lopez and Luis Ramon Garrido. So Zheng Siwei is ranked 54th in the world in doubles. His high was in April of this year when he was 51st in the world. And he normally plays with A-CHN. They won the Brazil Open together. And indeed, the last 3 tournaments together, they've made 3 semi-finals. There he is, the young 19-year-old, born in Zhejiang, China. A semi-finalist recently at the Thai Masters, New Zealand Open, Bonnie China Masters as well. Now, he hasn't played with Houwei before. This man we know an awful lot about. World ranked 5th. The Fujian province, just 21 years old. I thought he was 27 years old, if I'm honest. Has been as high as 3rd in the world in men's doubles. That was in March of this year. And there we are, just Andres Lopez of Mexico, the taller of the two there in the background, just warming up. Born in Mexico City. And he doesn't actually have a doubles ranking now, but he's been as high as 161 in the world back in September 2011. He's partnering Luis Ramon Garrido. We saw plenty of him in that 3rd singles encounter, losing out to the China number 3. So, just I can tell you that Houwei has played 6 doubles tournaments this year. He's runner-up in the Malaysian Open, to the Kims from Korea, quarterfinals in the Singapore Open. Not had a great year by his lofty standards, but he's normally playing with Chai Bao of China. So, fresh pairing here. They're being very creative and experimental, the Chinese, in this one. But they have certainly room for maneuver. So it's going to be Andres Lopez, the taller of the 2 Mexicans, the other side of the net to get us underway with serve in this 5th match of the 2nd tie of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, China, represented by Houwei and Zheng Siwei. On my left, Mexico, represented by Lopez Andres and Luis Ramon Garrido. Mexico to serve. Lopez Andres to Houwei. Level play. One, love. Service over. 1-0. Service over. 1.
Well, I can tell you that these two have played twice together in the Continental Championships. 17th and 18th of February. They lost to Guatemala in men's doubles 2, but they beat America in men's doubles 2. So 1 win, 1 loss for the Mexicans in their time together. Lopez Andres, well, he's been as high as 56th in the world back in men's doubles in 2011, December. So
Service over.
4.5 years ago that was.
3.
He doesn't have a ranking in men's singles anymore. He has been as high as 169th in the world.
3-0.
But winning that one match and losing in the other one has given them a ranking of 1,355 for what it's worth, the two Mexicans. So a huge disparity in ranking.
4-3.
But he's obviously a man of experience if he's been as high as 56 in the world in doubles.
Up. Service over. 4-0.
Oh, brilliant rally. With an excellent climax to it as well. Thunderous smash from Zheng Siwei to get it done. That lift in the end far too short, but look at that, almost 70 shots long. Wow, it's been a compelling match in that regard. No one ever really doubted the end result, but a very watchable match, tie I should say nonetheless, but an immediate challenge from the Mexicans, as it should be.
Mexico,
Lopez Andres saw that on the line, and they were adamant that it touched. Let's have a look ourselves. Yes, well inside the line, in fact. So this man, his first showing within this tie, and he's come out and really put it together well. Very robust, despite being extremely lowly ranked.
5-0.
He has a court presence. He's a big fella, strong athlete. And more importantly, there's nothing between these two teams, although it's early doors. Found the line.
6-5.
Mexicans in the ascendancy. We haven't said that much too much today.
Service over.
But not for long. Pegged back for 6-all then by Houwei. He's a menace. He's got a real big physical presence. Again, rather like Li in the last match, Junhui. Very imposing. Oh, unusually, ball shuttle spilling over the back line there, despite the drift oncoming. So quick with the flat, fast drives. Zheng there.
11-8.
Out. Service over. 7-8.
That's thunderous pace again. Well, one thing is certain, and it's a message that Houwei is declaring: don't bother lifting me. Or lifting to me, I should say. Very powerful overhead. And he seems to complement very nicely with Siwei here. With that speed and stealth he has.
Service over. 8-10. 9-10.
Now Garrido almost made that, but as we head to the mid-game interval, it's Hong and Zheng with the 2-point advantage, 11 points to 9. Had a very long opening rally in the match, 69 shots it was, but spirited defense from the Mexicans to no avail in the end, though. They're still 2 points adrift. They did have the lead for 6-5 earlier in the game, but couldn't consolidate. So 7 minutes played. And this scratch pairing getting their resources together rather well. Now, will they accelerate away, or are these two going to stay with them? It's a pride thing now, in their first ever showing at this level of the Thomas Cup for the Mexicans.
Service over. 10, 11. Service over.
And you can imagine how these two would,
12, 10.
in agreement with the captain selecting them together, combine really well together. Hong with the powerful backcourt play, and Zheng, Siwei being so quick to pounce on the fruits of that labour.
14, 9.
Body smash, and Lopez Andres just couldn't quite get out of the way, and an apologetic gesture from Houwei. Good defense from Zheng and Hong, who are normally on the front foot. Nice to take a look at their defensive qualities between them. Having had the upper hand in most of these rallies, they certainly are good front runners and good in the forecourt and in that aggressive team stance.
$11, 15.
4 in a row for the Chinese. Good leave.
Service over.
Knew immediately that was spilling over the back line, made no attempt to play it. A 5-point cushion to allow a little bit more flamboyance and free swinging from the Chinese duo.
Service over. 12, 16. Play. Service over. 17, 12.
So both teams vying for the quarterfinal berth, but it seems Team China with ominous intent. Nice try. Saw the vision of what he was up to there, but didn't quite execute.
$19, 12. Game points. 12.
8 game points then for Team China.
Game.
After 11 minutes then, they seal the opening game.
China, 21-12.
21-12, that's confirmed by our chair umpire. Well, one thing's for sure, they are combining well. Who'd have thought anything other, frankly? And despite a good, strong start from these two, as I said, they were 6-5 up in the opening game, but then suddenly, Chinese players hit the accelerator.
Yo creo que cuando dejemos en la red, hay que meternos en la red porque están queriendo volver a dejar ahí. Porque el gallo ya se abre. Pues nada más hay que meter.
So a quick team discussion then. And these two, despite the disparity in size between them, seem to complement each other very, very well. Effective patterns of play and the big threatening overhead from the backcourt and of Hong, and Zheng will just so super agile and sprightly around the net as well. Very dangerous force. So are they a team for the future, I wonder? And why isn't Qiao, the familiar partner with Houwei, here beside him? Perhaps this is the look of the future for Houwei, partnering Siwei. Here he is to get us underway, second game.
Level. Play. Out. Service over. 1 love. Service over. 1 all. Out. Service over.
Well, they certainly have a different game style than their compatriots Li and Louis, who are so adept at playing flat and hard and aggressively and high tempo. But Zheng and Houwei, well, they can do that as well, but generally they tend to vary the play a little more, with a little bit more touch and soft-handed delicacy, if you will. A lot more short shots played.
3, 2.
Li and Louis, well, they seem more out-and-out power.
4, 2.
Quarter to 5 local time. The match started at 1:30. So you've had 4¼ hours of brilliant badminton.
Service over. 3, 4.
And frankly, the might of China have looked imperious throughout. In the absence of Japan with Momota
4 all.
His compatriot, makes you wonder whether they really have what it takes. Kenichi Tago also absent.
5, 4.
Wednesday, that match will unfold, but I don't know whether they have enough to take on China. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Service over. 5-0.
4-4.
And talking about that match, Japan are 3-0 up against France on an adjacent court here.
Service over. 6.
In the other match within Group A. So, of course, 2 of these teams will go through, and you'd imagine it'll be China and Japan. Japan, of course, defending champions, for those of you who are just joining us.
Service over. 6-0.
But, Mexico doing very well here to stay level in this second game. Yeah, short-lived, got what it deserved.
Service over.
Well played, Lopez and Garrido.
7-0. Service over. 8-7.
Well, I thought, anticipating this with this scratch pairing here in blue and white, that there might be a little hesitancy between the two, but they have gelled rather well together.
Service over. 8-0.
And now this, you would imagine, would put pressure on the Chinese pairing, because if they can just stay with, certainly until the mid-game interval anyway, then suddenly it might cause a little sort of hint of doubt, particularly in the younger of the two players, Zheng, Siwei.
9-8.
So a little hand gesture there, pointing to where he will and how he will serve, rather, and what he wants to do afterwards.
9-0.
It's all planned, these set plays, of course. Leaving no stone unturned, these players, in terms of their preparation and how they want the point constructed. Well, that is menacing. You can see why just a couple of months ago he reached his career high of 3rd in the world. Such variety as well. There was a nice soft drop in there as well, and then 3 power smashes between the two of them. So, mid-game interval, it's brought 11-9 in favor of Hong and Zheng.
Ahí me forzaron a mí a dejarlo tendido. Entonces, porque lo están tirando en media smash al centro. Entonces ahí, del otro lado.
As much as the Mexicans are trying to get to the front court with the one up, one back aggressive stance, we've rarely seen them there relatively to their opponents today, and that's become a familiar feature. They're getting bullied back to that defensive position and having to deflect a lot of aggressive badminton coming their way. The umpire just suggesting he wasn't ready. And now he is. Yeah, didn't quite get behind that one. Now that's an example of perhaps not quite knowing intuitively where your partner was.
Shuttle. Play.
It's because it's their first showing together. Garrido had found the hole in the court, but all he had to do there was clear the net. Frustrated in not doing so. So, mini advantage in game 2 to Hong and Zheng.
13-10. Service over. 11-13.
Now, can they stay in touch? Got the serving advantage here. Oh, wonderful.
12-13.
Andres Lopez there with really quick hands and good skills on the backhand tight net shot. So deficit reduced, but still work to do. How dearly they'd love to win a game.
Service over. 14-12.
And don't they combine well together? Speed, agility in the forecourt of the shorter man from China, and the power and presence at the backcourt of that
16,
menacing overhead from Houwei. So again, they accelerate away and remind the Mexicans of their stature and ranking.
Oh.
Oh.
17-12.
That was a great get from Luis Garrido. Couldn't manage that one though.
18-12.
Dispatched, 2 points away
19
from wrapping
12.
up the tie.
Service over. 13-19. 14-19.
Great play. He's a good athlete, Luis Ramon Garrido. And he's made that as well, Andres Lopez. Take a bow. That was wonderful skills. Maybe it's the freedom of knowing that they're very close to getting in the shower, frankly. And they can just execute with abandon. Power telling from Houwei.
Service over.
Again, as in the opening doubles.
Match points.
It's been a big feature of this match as well. 5 match point opportunities then for Team China to wrap this tie up.
Zheng.
Well, they do so in some style, in unblemished fashion. 21-12 and 21-15 as we approach 5 o'clock local time. Houwei and Zheng Siwei.
Match won by China.
And
21-12,
scratch pairing.
21-15.
Safely through. So the #1 seeds, as we said at the top of the day, emerge comfortably at a canter against Team Mexico. There's just confirmation of the score. They were on court for 24 minutes, I think it was. And China, there we are, just confirmation. Yet to succumb and concede a game. 2-love in each of the matches. In emphatic fashion, they race through their opening group match. Team Mexico, well, for today, a real celebration of their arrival into the Thomas Cup finals. It's really refreshing to see them here, and well done to them for getting there. But still more work to do if they're to go deeper into a tournament of this stature. But credit to them, they acquitted themselves well. It was a match played in good spirit. And all Team China. Chen, he came out and really took control of this opening singles. 36 minutes it took him to race past the 73rd ranked Lino Munoz. 21-12, 21-7. Then came Job Castillo, I should say. He came up against the really patient and superbly fit Tian Houwei, world ranked 6th. Tian came through 21-7, 21-12, 38 minutes. And then Ramon Garrido, well, he acquitted himself marginally better score-wise, 21-11 and 21-8. He went down to Qiao Bin. One fast riser in the Chinese team. And then these two, what a menacing duo they were. Li Junhui and Yuchen. Well, they came through conceding very few points, indeed just 3 in that opening game. It took them 21 minutes to crush the might of Castillo and Munoz. And then the last match of the day, scratch pairing. Houwei and Siwei coming through against Lopez and Ramon Garrido. 21-12, 21-15, just 24 minutes. So China, a statement of intent from them. That's it from me. I'm Paul Hand. Great to have your company. I'll see you tomorrow. And our next tie lined up is an Uber Cup match. That's going to be approximately 7:30 local time. That'll be Denmark, the 8th seeds, against Spain, the 11th seeds, featuring, of course, Carolina Marin in that one. So that'll be up at 7:30 local time. But for me, Paul Hand, it's goodbye for now.